So when it comes to uh so I was watching this one video last night and I noticed, because I don't speak enough on the topic of like sensations, and I noticed there was this uh you know it, when it comes to watching assessments on people's bodies, it's like I can see what they look like, I can see how they move, I can see what they do, and I know how to match that energy. Is one of the simpler ways I can explain it. I just kind of know what I'm looking at, and so I know, like, okay, so it's like when it comes to me being more of an earth element, I'm gonna switch back and forth between the body and spirituality and all this stuff. But actually, I want to sit over here. But it's crazy when I do these. I feel like it's never quiet enough, or I'm never like in a place well enough where I know one can like hear me. But feels vulnerable. So when it comes to like the earth element, right? I've noticed that I'm more so like more of the sensibility. So I'm able to sense abilities, right? I have the ability to be able to sense abilities. This is what I've noticed, because like I think I'm gonna try to find another recording, but I found this I said this in another recording. It's like I noticed that with this one YouTuber, Dolo, Uriel, whatever. He's more of a he's all fire. He's way more fire. So he's way more passion. He's way more up and out there. He's way more in his imagination, what he can bring down from the higher, the other waters, and all that thing, like type of thing, because he talks about how like water and fire is kind of like, the same in certain ways. Um so it's interesting to me that when he talks about certain things, when he takes things from certain waters and brings it down into this material, it's way more of passion, spirituality, imagination, things, fire related. And I come in more so earth related, air related, and a little water, not much though. My fire, I've noticed, like, if I explain it now, I see is more like for entertainment and things like that, is more so in that realm. But mainly it's earth and air. I mean, because me being a Scorpio rising, I am water, but we're not gonna get into all that. I'm not into all that. But so when it comes to the body, I noticed that I was watching this one assessment, as I often do. This can be applied to anything you see. I know that may be a little weird to say now, but it'll make sense if you start getting into it. But it's more so I can look at something, see how it moves, and know what to do to fix my body. Because this is, again, I'm trying to build up to say that this is what this is all going to be about. Like, it's going to be me essentially talking about how to use all the elements, all the things, all the stuff in this world, all the natural movements of every human being ever in history, all the things that we've ever done or thought of, ever been, ourselves or outside of ourselves, period. Bringing all of those things and all that knowledge into how to align your body. Like I said, like Captain Planet and things like that, using all the elements to align yourself and be that because you bring all the colors together, So I'm not gonna once again, no. I'm sticking to saying, hey, if you so like for me, I've noticed that I can even use my mind to move muscles, and again, I get it, but I'm saying that of course, like you can move up and down, you can do a dumbbell curl, but there's certain muscles you can move, like I could say to keep it simple, you can move outer muscles or the muscles that of course but how well can you move structural muscles? How well can you move um the outer like the superficial parts of it is the real question. You'll move into different spots, because I'm getting to what I'm wondering is like how when I start to take my mind off of just doing the bigger parts and just working on um relieving pain mainly. Um, how far I can go into doing stuff like this, because it's like, okay, I can do the nauli and the stomach vacuum and washing and all this stuff and move my body and roll and do all this stuff where I can like get into it, like the Indians do, and move and roll and they don't know kind of, what I'm saying? So I noticed that okay, I can do all of that. I can stretch, I can do yoga, I can do all of this, right? I can meditate, I can, because it all matters, right? But it's like sensing something and realizing that even if I don't necessarily know that it's there, I can still have the ability to sense it and try to and not try bring it into awareness, into existence, into material, into me realizing, knowing, you know, not just going knowing, okay, I did it, now this is a thing, and moving that, like I said, into fixing my body, moving my muscles, breaking up that calcium, all that crystal and all that stuff. You know, doing self massage, doing doing a lot of deep breathing, stretching, learning how to, like I said, with the nauli, learning how to stretch yourself with like within muscles in different parts of yourself, and being able to breathe within your toes, your feet, like your head, different parts of your head, being able to move that thing through thoughts. You have different awarenesses come in when you start to see that you can do more than just curl your arms. You can do more than just move your fingers and turn your head. That you can turn inside parts of you, that you can, and like I said, it just feels like it's more for my athletes and people that are really like already into high level yoga, sports things, like that, just heavy, already heavy into it. This is mainly, I feel like, for them. I'm not saying that anybody else can use this if they can already have, but you have to have that know-how already. Like I said, of what yoga is, what doing sports, having some type of idea of massage in the medical field and things like this. You have to have all this knowledge, colors and how people feel, and like I said, psychology, things like this. You must know these things in some way if you plan on, you already have to have a good start for it to really pick up. So, but I would watch these assessment videos, and like I said, I would notice that I can just watch them press on something and know that I need to move that part of my stomach. I need to press on that part of my stomach. I noticed that, you know, it what would it, I go, what would it feel like to have it be pressed, and when those muscles are pressed, what exactly comes from that? What feelings? What because you got to go further than just being pressed on, because some people get touched certain ways, you know, and they cry. Some people get touched certain ways and they get mad. They get super upset and don't know what to do with themselves. Some people giggle. So you got to look past. And I know I'm seeing now that those parts are like not just trauma, but it's just memories. It's things that were a part of you at some point. Because you got to ask yourself, why does that tickle and why is it nervous? Because why are you laughing and is it a nervous laughter? Because you held that nervous laughter over years, right? This is how I look at it. So you find a spot, boom, it's so sensitive you can't never touch it. You wonder why, because not every part's ticklish sensitive, not every part's hurting type sensitive, pain type. There's different types of levels of all of this, right? So I'm trying to stay cool with this because it's a lot to go into, but like I said, when I have this, I'm learning that I am able to sense abilities, sensibility, right? To be able to know that that's also something I can use for myself as a tool. When they do it, I can see how they move. I move the same way. I find that within myself. I use that with, like I said, my breath, imagination, a whole other things, the elements, to where, like I've said before, as an example, I can nauli, stomach vacuum, pull the muscles, use that because I have to hold it, pinpoint other certain muscles, then I'm able to also move that. If I control it correctly, it's almost like being a locksmith, right? Being able to pick that lock or whatever like that. You have to be able to find how to align yourself to the emotions, the imagination, what you see, how you feel, how they think, what they're doing, what you're doing, and relative to that. There's so many things to mix in to get you to the space where you need to be able to release certain muscles, tension, expectations, just all kinds of things, right? You can't, it's not just, oh, I move myself, I move my muscles, I go up and down, I do this, that, the third. No, like, check in with your senses, check in with how you see what feels, right? How you see how it feels, how you see it feeling, how you see it within yourself feeling. I sense the senses. I sense the abilities to be able to move, like having that. You know how you get like you're eating like fig Newtons, and you get that shock in the back of your jaw. It take that and realize that you are able to move those muscles and when those synapses, all those thingy things started pippity popping, take that and realize I can move that. I can use, because you'll notice that just like wiring, of course, your that electricity will move. It'll I don't want to say wash, but it'll wave itself through you. It'll follow that. Follow that through your imagination. Take like because I noticed what I really wanted to get into. It's like I can look into, like, if I could take myself, put myself in my body, within my imagination, pinpoint what muscles I'm I need moved, what parts I need to un. So that comes with me going, okay, I know that just like I can walk through a door, just so that I can jump up and down, just like I can, look at something and not look at something. I can close my eyes. I can think of something. I can feel like it, because there's a lot of people that have that type of concentration to where they think, okay, if I could just think this enough, it'll move, right? Think of that and internalize that. Now, imagine you pushing your muscles down without having to do it. This is going to sound like what? Trust. Because I remember, and it's funny, this dude said that when I was in the military, because I told him it's funny how I noticed, like, it's funny, right? How if you put your hand down and you look at it and you want it to move, right? And you don't move it, right? It gets frustrated. You get frustrated. I notice, you get irritated. Your body gets irritated. You sit there and go, move, move, and you have all the intentions in the world to make it move, but you don't move it on purpose. Your body doesn't know what to do with itself. Because it's like you're telling me to move and then not. What's going on? You're purposely breaking that connection between the mind and the body. If you were to take that connection, bring it into the body and go, I can breathe in my toes. I can breathe in certain parts of my body. I can breathe within my thighs, knees, any part that I can look at, see, and want to like put that breath into that muscle. I can get that sensation out of it through looking at it, seeing it, and imagining me pulling. If I have to start that way, if I have to even grab it and pull it, it's truly meshing and melding the mind and body because there's no separation really. They're all made up of all the things that I thought of. So it's not much of a difference between my thoughts and my body, my emotions and my body. It's made up of all those things to make this thing, right? So if I can take, like I said, if I gotta, you pick a little cherry or apple, pull that out of my foot, drag that down. If I can imagine going to one strand, pushing that strand, moving that to the left, to the right, it'll go. It'll move. You just have to know that that's what it's gonna do. You just have to like not believe it. You have to just do it. So that's it for right now. I think sensibilities, sense the abilities. That's what we're doing right now. Because like I want to start getting this page more towards the body. Because like I said, I could go into astrology. I could go into more of the astral parts of it and all that. But I'm working on, like I said, me being more so clay, I guess, moldable, or your earth, water, air, things like that. Mine's more of constructing, molding, things like that. So that's what I'm gonna continue to look into. So that's where we're at. All right, man. Let me get off this thing.